You may not know this, but the last 24 hours has actually been the largest 24-hour period since back on October 10th, which that was a pretty big one. And this is in a couple different notes. And yet, despite that being the case, we're actually back at the exact same prices we were at yesterday morning. This is a very promising sign for the market. And maybe this is just a short-term recovery, short-term bounce. Maybe it's something bigger. We are reacting possibly to some good overnight news that we received, which we will talk about in this video. But what I really want to mention is that we have something taking place today that could cause more stir in the market one way or the other. We'll talk about all that and more. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yesterday actually turned into what we hoped it wouldn't, and that was a continuation. Sometimes when you have these ugly Mondays, they turn into absolute trash Tuesdays. And that's what it was. It was a trash Tuesday. We saw a lot of red in the market. We saw big liquidations. For example, this is the largest liquidation day we have seen since October 10th. $1.62 billion in liquidations over the last 24 hours. That's a pretty big number. If you guys remember, all the way back on February 2nd, 2.33 billion. So this was 75% of the way to the second largest liquidation in crypto history. But yet, despite that, ADA was actually only down 5.79% on the day. What you actually saw finally was major spot accumulation take place. This actually led us to have the largest volume day we have seen since all the way back on October 10th. So this is what we had hoped to see. Great defensive structure, great defensive price, people actually buying spot and playing less with leverage. That's perfect. So we actually saw ADA come down to the bottom of our channel, like we had talked about. We actually got all the way down to, gosh, what was our lowest? Right on 49 cents. Hit it right on the head. Had a nice bounce back. Started today's candle, retested it. Nice bounce back. And now we're actually sitting right on top of our rainbow regression curve. BTC came down, kissed the corner like we had talked about. Actually got down to 99K, bounce back, same thing, retest, bounce back. And now we actually have both ADA and BTC printing hammer candles for the day, major bullish reversal candles. Now, we'll obviously see if we're going to close that way. We have a long day ahead. It's only 6:18 a.m. Central Standard Time right now. But this is the defensive structure you wanted to see. This was perfect. I mean, you can't draw it up any better than this. And now we've had full resets on stochastic RSI on the daily on pretty much any asset in the crypto space. So this is really good. Now, this is despite us having major unload days by institutional money. $577 million is the largest institutional unload day since August 1st. August 1st was actually 800 billion. So this is obviously smaller in comparison to that, but it definitely envelops all the red days that we have been seeing. Ethereum had an ugly unload day, $219 million. So we actually did a pretty good job returning price back to where it was in terms of altcoins. Obviously, BTC is still down from where it was this time yesterday, but that means that we actually saw BTC dominance drop just a little bit. So that's kind of the confidence we were hoping from altcoin holders, and we finally started to see at least just a little bit of it peeking through. Now, that being said, there was some news overnight that maybe the market is starting to react to. China suspends its 24% U.S. tariffs and maintains 10%. So this is a big step back in terms of the amount of tariffs they're imposing on the U.S. And what's great about this is this has actually been put in place now for a year. So it's something that has been a big mess that's been stuck in our hair that has now been kicked down the road for quite some time, 365 days. And apparently the market's loving this. It's on the move this morning. Now, whether that will continue into the day is another question entirely, because what we have today is the Supreme Court ruling on whether Trump's tariffs are legal or not. Now, I don't know how the market is going to react to this one way or the other, because obviously in the market, if the tariffs themselves, you could obviously fall on either side of this. The tariffs themselves haven't really been bad. It's the tariff news and the surprise, the surprising and poor timing of the announcements that have really hurt the market. The market had kind of gotten over the fact that we have tariffs. Everybody's got freaking tariffs, right? It's the news, the fear cycle that comes with it. So again, I don't know how the market is going to react to this, but I would expect this to be a very high volume day, a lot of volatility to come off of this, but hopefully it's a positive reaction nonetheless. We definitely need a bit more green in the crypto market. Now, that being said, Cardano in its own right is having some good news here. the negotiations with SpaceX have already begun, with plans to renegotiate next year once Cardano's tech stack fully meets SpaceX's ambitious needs. Midnight's public-private design makes it well-suited to working with these government projects. Could Cardano technology soon power real-world aerospace missions? So that's a pretty interesting discussion. Maybe we'll talk about that more in a different video. But what I will say here is, if the market continues on a green note, we have the opportunity for some really sizable bounce backs. You could actually be talking about ADA targeting, 58 cents, the top of this channel that we had been building here. If we do break out of that, watch for this 20-day. This is very quickly coming down to about 60 cents as well. BTC here has a huge opportunity to bounce back towards 110K. I'd watch this 200-day moving average first of all, and then our 20-day. But overall, market's not in a bad spot right now. I still see a lot of negativity, and that's fine. People can be negative if they want. But a lot of times when you get such aggressive drops like this, you get very aggressive bounce backs, especially if leverage has chased down, which it has. You've had a lot of the negative people try to pile on top of things. People, shorts and bears getting way too confident in the market. Actually, BTC almost just retesting this dip that we saw back here on June 21st. It's all, oh God. The structure of this is just almost perfect, but that's kind of where we're at. We'll see what the day brings us. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that these tariffs are going to be ruled outside of his power? Do you think they're not? Is the market going to have a positive reaction, negative reaction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.